My name is Dr. Sharon Mwaniki, and today we are going to talk about stress and anxiety management in the era of coronavirus. So I'll start with definition, and then we will move to the rest of the things that we are going to discuss today. So under definition, I'm going to start with the definition of anxiety, which is a state of tension that motivates us to do something. It is a warning that is a danger. It is a warning that danger is approaching, and a feeling of fear or worry or being uneasy. And it develops out of conflicts among the id, ego, and superego. So the next thing we're defining is stress, which is a state of mental or emotional tension resulting from demanding circumstances. This only means that you get stressed, or you be unstable, mentally unstable whenever the demand is there. Like when there is something that is happening, that's when you get stressed. And then the next thing is worry. It is a state of being anxious and trouble over potential problem. Like you get worried when there is something that is supposed to happen. It has not yet happened yet, but you're already worried that something is going to happen. So that is when we say you're being anxious or troubled over a potential problem. And then being anxious, tense or fearful when threatened, it's normal, as anxiety increases in the ability to flee or fight the threat. So when there is threat, being anxious is something that is very normal, because that is the it's like a reflex that happens when something or when danger is approaching. So it's something that is very, very normal. And then worry is a normal part of life and can be helpful in some instances. It has the potential to help us make good decisions. As we defined worry previously, it is something that happens, or a state of being anxious when you're worried something is going to happen. So when we say it is a good thing or it's something that helps, that is because when you're worried something is going to happen or a danger is approaching, you're in a position to either make decisions whether you're going to help yourself out of the danger or you're going to do something to prevent it. That is when we say that it is really helpful and important, as well as it is normal. And then, however, worries can become excessive, uncontrollable, more confronting emotionally than expected, and for an extended period of time. You may be suffering from general anxiety disorder. So however much we are saying that it is something that it is normal, when it is in excess, you might be suffering from something called GAD, that is generalized anxiety disorder. So there are some ways that you're supposed to realize whether you have a problem or it is just the normal anxiety, and we are going to mention them as we go by. So when to seek help. This is when you realize you have a problem. It's just not the normal anxiety or the normal worry. So when stress and anxiety begin to interfere with your daily life. Like let's say, for example, you're someone who goes to work, you never miss work, you're always there on time, but now you realize that this particular time you're facing this challenge in life, you're now even the normal things that you do normally, you're missing your work, you're going to work late, you're not submitting, let's say, your assignments on time. That is when you're supposed to now seek medical attention or counseling, because now we now say this is not normal, because it's interfering with everything that you do on your daily life. And then when you're avoiding situations due to irrational fears and constant worries, that I think is just self-explanatory. You're just avoiding things that you could have solved in a normal situation, but now you're avoiding them. And then when you are experiencing severe anxiety about a traumatic event week after it happened, something has happened, it's now 1 week after it has already happened, but you're still anxious, you're still worried, stressed, and all that. When you see something like that is happening, especially when it was not something that big, you're now supposed to seek medical attention. because within a period of 1 week you're supposed to have at least made an effort to work out things, whether it's something that has happened at work or it's something that is personal. When you see it's dragging for a very long time, it's now a week and you're still dealing with it, and especially not in the right way, you're now supposed to seek medical attention. And then we have the types of anxieties. We have reality anxiety, we have neurotic anxiety, moral anxiety. Those are the 3 types of anxiety that we have. Reality anxiety, this is where there is fear of danger from external world. The level of such anxiety is proportionate to the degree of real threat. That is, it causes easily identified and can be avoided. Okay, so when we say that reality anxiety is a fear of danger from external world, that is you are afraid of something that is definitely going to happen. Like, you know, this thing is going to happen, but you're being anxious about it. You have fear of a danger that you know that whatever happens, this is something that is really going to happen. That is when we say that reality anxiety. And then neurotic anxiety, this is unconscious fear that instincts will get out of hand and cause one to do something which one will be punished. This is let's look for an instance. This is when, let's say, you are anxious because you have missed job, and you think your instincts are telling you that you're going to be sacked, but it has not yet happened. So you're already facing this anxiety, but you are not sure of what is going to happen, but you're just like thinking that maybe you're going to be punished by being sacked. So you're already anxious, but the results are not yet out. That is what we call neurotic anxiety. And then we have the moral anxiety. This is the fear of one's own consciousness. This is when you feel guilty, or you tend to feel guilty when you have done something wrong, or when you know that you're going to do something wrong. So that type of anxiety, that is what we call the moral anxiety. Like, you know what I'm doing is wrong, but you're still doing it. So that anxiety that you're going to face at that particular moment, that is what we call the moral anxiety. And then we are going to talk about causes of stress and anxiety. These are the things that we face normally in life, things that we go through every day of our lives. We have finances. Finances, this is something that everyone deals with every day, because you have to eat, you have to dress, you have to pay your bills, you have to do a lot of things. And for survival in this world today, we need money. So this, whether you like it or not, you will always have to go through this stress. So that is one of the things that majorly causes stress in the world today. Even the people who, like, let's say, they go out of their own way or out of their own character to now start stealing and all that, it's because of, let's say, someone has really undergone a lot of stress, and then they're now like, what do I do? You find someone has now resulted to doing things that are not even part of their own characters, like stealing, killing people just to get money. So finance definitely causes stress. And then children. In this context, when we say children, this is you have children and you have to provide for them. Still goes back to finances, but now you see, for someone who has children and for someone who doesn't have children, it is very different, because when you have children, the need is more than when you don't have children. So you have to provide for them, you have to pay their school fees, you have to dress them and all that. That one will always cause stress. And then partners, relationships. Most people who are in relationships compared to people who are single, you'll find that they have a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety over trust issues. they'll have stress of families. Maybe they are being pressured into getting married, they are being pressured into getting children, pressures come from everywhere whenever you're in relationships. Even apart from let's say romantic relationships, even when we say of partners and we are talking about partnership in, let's say, businesses, you will always have stress. The people that you're partnering with, maybe let's say they have should I say steal from you, or maybe you had a deal and then you just realize that some money is missing. You will always face stress whenever you're partnering, you have partnership with someone else. And then we have traumatic events or experiences, let's say something like illness or death. When something like this happens in your family, especially the chronic illnesses, you find that you're spending a lot of money in the hospital, a lot of time, but this person is not getting any better. You will always have stress, you will always be anxious. You're wondering what will happen at the end of all this, because you're already spending a lot of time, a lot of money, and this person is not showing any improvement. So at the end of the day, you're going to get stressed, especially let's say right now, this time where we have some families who have been affected with corona. The anxiety is there. Let's say you just seated in your house and then you hear the sirens, the ambulances are there, they just pick one of your family members. You see, you'll always be anxious. You don't know if you are infected, you don't know if this person is going to turn positive of the coronavirus, and all those things. You don't know if he's going to get any better or he's going to die. So that is a real cause of anxiety. And then we also have work. Work can also cause stress, because you have your own personal life that you want to live. You also have to go to work. You have reports that you're supposed to submit on time. You have a lot of things, and at the end of the day, you also have to do your own stuff. You have to do your own personal things. So you will definitely be anxious and get stressed. And then we also have something that happens especially to young girls, that is sexual harassment. It happens to both gender, but especially young girls are the ones who succumb to this. So sexual harassment is something else that causes a lot of stress and anxiety. Especially you find when this particular person who has been affected is not someone who is outspoken. So they tend to keep this in them, and they have a lot of stress, they have a lot of anxiety, and at the end of the day, you find that someone is now depressed. So that is something else that causes a lot of anxiety and stress. And then we have the signs and symptoms. How can you know, how will you identify that this person has stress, or this person is anxious, or even you yourself, how will you know that now here this is not just normal, I'm stressed? So we have when you have excessive worrying that has lasted for months, plus the following. Whenever you have excessive worry that has lasted for months, plus now what I'm going to mention, that is when you know that you have stress. So the first thing is, we call it cognitive. This is confusion in thinking, lowered concentration, difficulty in decision making, memory dysfunction, and irrationality. I'll repeat that. Confusion in thinking, you're not thinking straight, if I may put it that way. Then lowered concentration, you cannot concentrate on one thing. Difficulty in making decisions, and then memory dysfunction and irrationality. You're being irrational in everything that you're doing. And then we have the physical ones. You have rapid breathing or fast heartbeat, which is not normal. You're breathing so fast, or you can even feel your heartbeat without touching your chest. And then we also have dizziness spells. You're dizzy the whole day. You find yourself just dozing off at work, dozing off in the matatu, everywhere. And then elevated blood pressure. increased heart rate, excessive sweating, shaking, muscle tension, headache, stomachache, and easy fatigability or getting tired easily. Those are some of the physical signs that when you find, plus being worried over a man, you now know here there is something that is not right. And then we have emotional. Under emotional, we have overwhelmed feelings, inability to control negative feelings. That is, you get angry easily, you're just irritable, you just look depressed. Even someone, like you just find someone is coming to ask you a very simple question, but the way you respond to them, it's like you've been having issues with this person for the longest time. So when you realize that you're behaving in that manner, and then you start you have to start questioning yourself on if you're stressed or if there is something that is really bothering you. And then you have behavioral. These are changes in ordinary behavior patterns. Like, let's say when we say ordinary behaviors, it's like eating or even sleeping. This is something that you do every day, but you realize that you're someone who eats, but now you're just biting on things and you're already full. You're not even eating, you cannot sleep well, you have sleepless nights. When you find that these behaviors are changing, that is when you also have to start thinking if you have something that is bothering you. And then also something else under behavior is when you have decreased personal hygiene, and then prolonged silence and withdrawal or detachment from others. You just want to spend time alone, you don't want to talk to people. When you see such things happening, you have to start questioning yourself if you have stress or if there is something that is really bothering you. And then now we are going to talk about management of this stress and anxiety. So before you know, or before you learn how to deal with this anxiety or stress, the first thing or the first step of management is for you to know what has really triggered the stress or what has triggered the anxiety, for you to be able to manage it. So you will start looking at everything that you do daily. Is the stress from school? Is it from work? Is it from the relationships that you're having? Is it from the family, or is it work related? You just have to soul search and find out the cause of this stress or this anxiety. And then that is the first step of managing your stress or your anxiety. And then the next thing, we have something called relaxation techniques. Whenever you're anxious, let's say someone else, let's say the people from the county, let's say, have come to pick someone from your family because they're suspecting this person to have coronavirus. You as a person who is remaining there, you don't know what to do. They just came, took him, and they're already gone. So what do? The first thing that you're supposed to do before you make any decision, just try to calm down. This is what we call the relaxation technique. So you just sit down, try to breathe in and out slowly, and relax before you make any decision. Because whenever you're anxious and having a lot of stress, you can make a lot of wrong decisions. So you just have first to relax before you make any decision. And then there is something else that we call the PMR, that is the progressive muscle relaxation. It's just like a massage type of thing, but now this one you do it whenever you let's say you have dealt with something for so long, until, for example, let's say you're having a headache that is not resolving. So you can just massage around your head slowly to relax the muscles, so that you can also release some tension. And then another thing that you can do to help you deal with stress and anxiety is to maintain a healthy lifestyle. When I say maintain a healthy lifestyle, it comes down to the small things that people do every day. Something like, let's say, sleep. You see, sometimes people don't get enough sleep because you have stress, let's say, from work. You even now carry your work from your office, you're bringing it at home, people are sleeping, you're there, you're still working on it. Tomorrow you go back with it to the office, you come back with it at home. So you really have to get enough sleep. That is one of the things that you're supposed to do, because if you don't get enough sleep, the next day you won't even be in the right state of mind, let's say, to deal with what is troubling you. So you have to get enough sleep, take a time out, eat well balanced meals, and then limit on alcohol and caffeine. And this is something that most people think is best for them. Whenever most people are stressed, they go and drink, they use drugs, and then they forget that they will be off that stress or the anxiety at just that particular moment whenever they are high. But whenever the highness is done, you'll still go back and find that the situation that you left there is still there waiting for you, and the stress goes on. So the best thing is just you maintain a healthy lifestyle and find a way in which you can solve this problem once and for all. But running away from it is never a solution, especially taking alcohol or using drugs. That one is never a solution to any problem. And then you can also have some sense of humor, because as you can remember on the previously I've mentioned that most people who are stressed and are anxious, they tend to withdraw from people. So what you can do, if you are realizing that that is what you're doing, you now try to mingle with others, try and make jokes, try and laugh over silly things. You'll find that your mind is off whatever is stressing you. So something like that, you might think it is something so silly, or someone is coming to make some jokes, and you want to concentrate on this thing that is really stressing you. You're not helping yourself. Just unwind with these people, unwind, make jokes, laugh over silly things, and you'll find that even as you're talking to other people, you might find a solution to what is really troubling you. And then you should always have a positive attitude. This is also a way to manage your stress. Whenever you're positive in everything that you're doing, however much you know, like this is so hard, I cannot do it, you think I cannot do it, no, that is a lot of negativity. So you're supposed to be optimistic in everything that you're doing. However much you think this thing, I don't know why they thought I could do this, you just have to tell yourself that no, I can do it, I can do this. Let me go there, try, so that I'll know that I tried. But don't just give up before you try doing whatever you're supposed to do. So you just go there, try doing it, be positive, and everything will fall into place. And then you can also seek help. If at all you have tried all these things, you've tried to relax, it's not working. You've tried to live healthily, it's not working. You've tried to talk to people, you just feel like the more I talk to these people, the more it's weighing down on me. You can now seek help, because at the end of the day, no man can stand alone. You need people for you to be where you are right now. And then now we want to talk about coronavirus and its relation to stress and anxiety and its relation to coronavirus. So at the beginning, when this coronavirus thing was starting, so many people were terrified, so many people were anxious and stressed, because they didn't even know what it is, where it's going to come from, how it's affecting us, and the fact that it was globally, like it was in the whole world. There's nowhere you can say that, no, me, I'll just run from Kenya and go to, let's say, Tanzania and I'll be safe. No, it was everywhere. So the anxiety was everywhere. Everyone was anxious. So another thing that was also making people to be anxious about this, apart from it's a new thing, it's something that is starting out, you don't even know how to deal with, is the fact that it was constantly on the news. You turn to KTN, it's there. You go to KBC, coronavirus. You go to even the stations that are meant for entertainment, everyone was talking about coronavirus. So it was creating a lot of anxiety and a lot of worry. You're now here thinking, what if the world is ending? People came up with so many theories about coronavirus. God is mad, that is why he is bringing all this to us. We have countries that are practicing gayism, we are being punished for that. A lot of theories were coming because of this coronavirus. So that is, we come down to whatever I'm saying. Whenever you feel or beat in this situation again, before you make any decisions, because I remember there was this thing that it went viral. Someone from, I don't know if it's from a country or from a town here in Kenya, just woke up and said that people should make tea, black tea without sugar, and take it, is going to heal coronavirus. And people are waking up before 6, before the sun is up. You're supposed to be up and take tea without sugar, you see. So before you're lured to do something like that, just sit down and think. This thing, as the scientists have said, it's a viral infection. How is tea going to help me out of this? And if tea is the only solution to this, do you think the first, is it called the first world countries, they wouldn't have noticed that that is the cure to this virus? So before you make such decisions, you have to sit down, have to think. However much you're anxious and stressed, you want to just do the first thing that comes to your mind for you to be safe from this. You also have to be rational, have to think and know, am I making the right decision, or am I just jumping into things that I'm hearing people do? So let's talk about anxiety on coronavirus. The things that people are worried about. People are worried about contamination, because you're told that this virus it has some density, so it's going to fall on surfaces. You want to wear gloves, you want to be in masks. If it was possible, some of you guys I know would be working in plastic bags, just because your fear of being contaminated. And then something else that was really creating the anxiety is whenever people started to experiencing some of the signs and symptoms. You know, people forgot that before coronavirus there was flu, before coronavirus there was malaria, before coronavirus there were a lot of many other illnesses, and most of these illnesses present just like coronavirus. The normal flu previously used just to come with sore throat and cough. People could just take lemon and ginger and you're okay. But after learning about coronavirus, you have a normal flu, but someone doesn't even want to cough. Even the normal cough reflex that comes, just the normal cough, you just feel like you want to cough. Someone would hold that in until tears are coming out of their eyes. So it was causing a lot of anxiety, until you forget that before this coronavirus we had flu, we had pneumonia, we had malaria, we had even just normal muscle pain. So that one was also causing a lot of anxiety. Another thing, the fact that that was causing a lot of anxiety during this coronavirus, the fact that you walk into every businesses that was open at that time, or any institution, they're taking temperatures. Everywhere you go, they're taking your temperatures. So this was also causing a lot of anxiety. Another thing, everywhere, or even everyone was using sanitizers. You are in a matatu, everyone has a sanitizer. You are in the hotel, someone has already washed their hands, but they're still using sanitizers. So such things were causing a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress. Hence, it just makes people think that this is something that we can't really deal with it. But this is almost the fifth or sixth month month into this coronavirus, and we are doing pretty much well. People are healing from it, so it is not as bad as we thought it was at the beginning. And another thing that happened at the beginning, if you can remember, is that people who had money, let me put it that way, they went to supermarkets, they went to big wholesale shops and did shopping worth thousands of money and stocked their fridge, stocked their house. I'm sure some people even emptied some of their rooms and stocked that room because they thought that there was going to be total lockdown. People are not going to go out. And now imagine someone who didn't even have money, someone who is living from hand to mouth, how this person was feeling or what this person was going through, you see. So such things are the things that cause a lot of tension and a lot of stress. Okay, and then we can also look at the psychological effects of coronavirus, and this, as much as we are talking of how it started, this is still to be expected, because however much it's now, it's not as tense as it was at the beginning, but we still have people who are affected. So if it hits you, that's when the anxiety that you had at the beginning comes back, you see. So this is still to be expected. So uncertainty about the duration of the crisis. This is something that no one knows. We don't know when it will end. We don't know if it's going to be there for life. We really don't know, because it being a viral infection, we realize that to find a vaccine or a drug that heals a viral drug, it's really difficult. So we don't really know where to stand. We don't really know where to stand. And then lack of proven therapies or vaccine. So as we all know, when this corona started, all the people who were quarantined or admitted, they were being treated without surety. Like they were trying everything. They were trying with the antiviral drug, they were trying to use the antihistamines, they were just trying anything to see if this person is going to get better. We can just say that they were being given supportive management, because someone has difficulty in breathing, let's give this person oxygen. Someone has irritated throat, let's give this person cetirizine. Like, that is what was happening. So, and up to now, we don't really have a vaccine or a drug that we can say now this is what we will use to treat corona. They're just treating it symptomatically, and miraculously people are getting healed. So this is something that is still stressing some of us, or especially the families that are really affected. And then possibility of personal or family illness. Like, let's say for example, the people who are here in Kenya and have relatives in let's say in the USA, or let's say in China, the countries that were really affected. So you're here, but you're just worried. You don't know if that family member of yours, wherever he is or wherever she is she fine? Is this person safe? Is this person going to make it? Is this person going to come out of all this alive? So these are things that are still stressing some of us, because apart from even people who are in those countries, we have families here in Kenya who their family members have been quarantined, or they're already undergoing the treatment of coronavirus. So they're still going through all this. And even you outside there who you don't even know if your family members are okay. We have people who, let's say for example, your family member is out there, but you don't even communicate with them. You're just worried. You don't even know if they're okay, if they're going to be okay, or if anything is going to happen to them. And then another thing is physical isolation. The fact that these people who have coronavirus are being isolated, they are being quarantined and being placed away from the rest of us. It makes us feel or think that this disease is really a really bad disease. And you see, whenever this person even comes out of the isolated places, you are still not even comfortable to sit around them, because you don't know if they are going to get a relapse. Are they totally healed, or have they just been released from wherever they are? So it's causing a lot a lot of tension and a lot of stress. And then these things, the thing about social distancing, that is also something else that is causing a lot of tension and a lot of stress, and we are still going to deal with it. Because you can imagine if you are let's say you're using public means, then you're in a matatu and someone just calls, and this person is actually seated at the driver and you are seated at the back of your seat. You find that in that matatu everyone is opening their windows, everyone is trying to put their masks well. So this thing is, it's real and it's causing a lot of stress. And you find that this person who is now coughing in that vehicle, it was just a normal cough, but if he was to cough again, he's trying to hold it in as much as possible. And if this person, let's say, has flu, you know, he's going to now start thinking about that, like the way those people behaved in that vehicle. I think I have corona, because I can even remember the last 2 days I had sore throat. And you will find that whenever you're facing something like this and you try to think about it, you will find out that you have all the signs and symptoms that are being said in the television or in this media, and you might even be very much negative of corona, because let's say maybe you have not been exposed to someone who has it and you've been careful, you've been doing everything that you've been told, you're washing your hands, you're having your mask, you're social distancing and everything. But the way people treat you, the way people are looking at this corona thing, can make you to start questioning yourself. And then another thing that corona has brought, and we are still going to deal with it, is family conflicts. Over this time that corona has been there, I think we've seen in the news the things that have been happening here in Kenya. You hear that families, a man has been killed with a wife, a mother has killed children. So this is it's bringing a lot of conflicts in our families, because you find that whenever you're living together with your husband, someone that you're used to him working, let's say in Nairobi, and you're in let's say Eldoret, you're that far. He only comes to visit 1 or 2 days and then goes back to work. So this time you're in one place with this person for so long, in that you're realizing some things that you really didn't know about this person, and it's bringing a lot of conflicts in families. You're used to your personal space, he's always not around. You're used to your personal space, but right now he's here. You have to wake up in the morning, make him breakfast, make his clothes, wash his clothes. You come back from work, he has disarranged everything in the house, and you're like, I just can't deal with this anymore. So small things like that, now that people are quarantined together, or they have been locked out together and they are living together with their persons, and they were not used to this, it's bringing a lot of conflicts. And apart from that, we have families which have been affected, in that, let's say, the sole providers have lost their jobs. They are not at work anymore, so they are here at home, they are not providing. You're blaming each other, and also that is bringing a lot of conflicts. And then another thing that has also affected us during this corona thing is stigma. The fact that I think I've even mentioned it, like the last 2 points. You just feel someone coughs near you and you're already thinking this is corona. You stigmatize this person until they think worst of themselves. So stigma is another thing. Even someone has already been treated, he's okay, but you cannot relate with them the way you were relating with them previously. That is also another thing. So as we wind up, we are the things that we are supposed to do to manage the anxiety related to corona is awareness. We are supposed to know what corona is, how to prevent this corona from affecting you, and how to deal with people who have corona. This is for the people who are affected. So once you are aware of all these things, you are in a position to help manage the anxiety and stress that is going to befall you this corona period. So that is the very first thing. Then another thing that you're supposed to do is just to stay calm, because however much you're stressed, or you want to be anxious about all these things, there is nothing much you can do. Because if there was something that could have been done, it would have already been done by now. So you just have to stay calm and wait to see what's going to happen, because as it is right now, we really don't know what to expect. We really don't know what's going to happen. So you just have to stay calm, and then you have to limit some of the information that you're getting from people, because people are coming up with so many theories. Someone can just sleep, and in this world today, I don't even know what is happening, because someone can just wake up and think, okay, why don't I post this on social media? And it's just something that they have just come up with. And with social media, it really goes viral, and you're there, you're seeing this, you're like, what if this is true? What if this is true? You just have to stick on what is real. You have to know what is real and what is not real for you to be safe at this time. So with all that I've said, that is what we are to talk about today, about anxiety and management. I hope you have learned something, and I hope that this is going to help someone outside there. Thank you.